Yeah. So this one was actually sent to me couple months ago, and I never put it in the jar. I'm so sorry. But this comes from a big fan, Ariel Hatfield.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ariel.
Thank you, Ariel.
Yeah, she said that her and her boyfriend are huge fans, and they watch it together every time.
Shout out Ariel and her boyfriend, Prince Eric.
Sweet.
Yeah. So this is crazy. The question is, do you think all of us talking about consciousness and waking people up is going to affect things differently than maybe it would had they woke up on their own time frame? It's kind of like,
wait, can you repeat that?
It's basically saying, like, do you think us talking about the phenomenon and consciousness and all that stuff is speeding up people waking up, or is it having any effect on it or whatever?
Question.
Which is kind of what we were just talking about with the phenomenon, the way it ramps up with the momentum.
Question. Does she mean us, Bledsoe said so?
Oh, no.
Or people in general?
People.
Yes.
I think so. I think it gives context to where when you have the awakening, you know a little bit about what's going on and you're not like, what is happening to me?
For sure. I also feel like energetically, because when you learn these things about consciousness, when you're paying attention to the phenomenon, and like even things like synchronicities, like you were just talking about, if you're paying attention to those things, like those are most likely things that raise your vibration, raise your you're putting out bigger energy,
right,
for lack of a better way of saying it. But and I think that when those things happen, because we are nature and we interact with our energy interacts with everything around us. It's like we're one big net of energy. So yeah, if one person is ramping up, I feel like that affects everyone.
Another perspective on that. Now, Emily, you can attest to this. We used to study Kung Fu, like very hardcore, and we were into it for years.
Yep.
And the thing in Kung Fu, and then we're going to talk about how it's also relevant in spiritual esoteric circles. When you touch hands with a master, whether it's a Kung Fu master, whether it's an esoteric sage, so to speak, like the story of Jesus blessing the disciples, and then they go forward and lay their hands and they bless them with the Spirit or whatever. Now, let's separate from that and say, in this case, someone who has had an experience or has intimate knowledge of what these experiences are and what it all means, and this scenario is a master.
Sure, yeah.
Metaphorically, I know we're talking about Kung Fu and esoteric, but those are just examples. So they're the master. When they're talking about this to other people, it's energetically, it's like the laying on, you're blessing other people with the knowledge.
It's like the laying of hands.
Yes, abstract.
Yeah.
But that's a thing. It's
an energy transfer.
It's an energy transfer.
Yeah.
It's a real energy transfer.
I think it does. Yeah. It boosts it's a catalyst.
Yeah. It's also that weird thing where there's they do tests on like mice, right? And they'll like teach one specific mouse in like a controlled environment, a specific skill or whatever. And then like every other mouse on the planet can do that thing.
It's called morphogenetic resonance.
That thing.
That too.
Well, that's kind of what I'm saying. Like, if one person wakes up, it probably makes it just a tiny bit easier for every other person. It's like momentum.
And then that person wakes up and starts
connected.
Speaking it at others.
Yes.
It's both.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think there's multiple things at play here that could be increasing.
Big answer is yes.
Yeah.
That's a great question.
Yeah, that was a great question.
It's like a very obvious yes to me.
I agree. No, I totally agree.
I mean, like, no doubt, brother.
And I think the other
and
side
sister, Ariel.
I think the other side of it, though, is like, as it's speeding up and helping some people awaken, it might be creating more negative energy for others who are resisting that. And that's like
that's interesting.
That's like speaking to suppression. If you're talking about suppressing emotional energy and how that can make you physically sick, if other people are waking up and you're suppressing that level of energy, think about the possibility for, that much damage energetically to go around in circles of people.
Ooh.
So like detesting that. So it's black and white.
It's like equal and opposite. I don't know. Yeah, equal and opposite exchange. No, that makes sense to me.
The image that
people are going to become like fiery against it,
Volatile.
Right, yeah.
It's going to charge people up against it. No,
Yeah.
that makes
The
sense.
image
to me.
that came to my mind initially when you read the question was like, we're all a light, right? So
Yeah.
let's just say, like, metaphorically, we're all a candle, but not all of them are lit. But, you take the lit candles and you're just lighting all the unlit candles. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
But that's casting more shadows.
So that's kind of saying that everybody needs somebody to wake them up.
I
And
think
that
so.
You can't light yourself
Or something.
because you're a candle, not a match. I think that's the case.
Something.
I don't think people can wake themselves up.
Yeah.
Really?
I think
think
so too.
something
I think it
has
takes
to.
somebody.
Something, whether it's a person or an
But-
event.
A candle that's been lit before is easier to light than a brand new candle.
What if the candle
True.
is like someone suppressing it and detesting it, and they're putting a barrier over that wick, but instead the flames around them are burning the wax, so they're just melting, but they're not actually on fire?
Okay, this is getting deep.
What if it's one of those birthday trick candles that you can't blow out?
No, so the wax melts around it, exposing the wick and allowing them to be lit easier.
Uh-huh.
I think that's possible, but I think the wax just might melt and they just suffer and die because they're sick.
Oh my God.
Guys, it's about the flame.
Positive episode.
It's not about the candle. It's not about the freaking wax. It's about the light.
Yes, it is about the light. But if they're opposing the light and they're putting a barrier up and resisting the light,
Don't let Satan it out.
It's like
Wow.
It's like
I'm gonna let it shine.
Thank you for blessing us with that.
I like
Alex.
that. I like that.
That was
funny.
honestly
as
gold.
the one who leads music at church for the kids. That is hilarious.
yeah, dude. I will never forget like riding in the car seat and listening to those like cheesy gospel cassette tapes for kids.
Oh yeah.
This little light of mine.
Hide it under a bushel. No.
Oh no, dude. My favorite. I got the joy down in my heart. God. That's like a fever dream.
Okay, next.
Next one. All right.